again, Albert Pujols released by the LA Angels. On the other side of sports, we go to football, where Aaron Rodgers has officially asked to leave the Packers. Now, this came out like a week ago, but I'll do a podcast episode weekly, so it'll be the news throughout the week. But Aaron Rodgers asking to leave the Packers. Now, I don't really know about this. This is an iffy decision for me. But another side to this story is the front office is not going to let him out of there. They want their star quarterback to be there for it all, and that's what they're going to fight to get out of him. And I think that that's a great move by the front office. But I also, in my opinion, I am worried that if the Packers don't do anything to trade him wise or anything like that, I have a deep feeling inside that there is a good possibility of the retirement of Aaron Rodgers. Now we move on to the NHL. Playoffs set to go pretty darn soon. The Stanley Cup Playoffs, one of the best times of the year in hockey and all of sports. Now, I've got some interesting predictions here, but I'm going with the Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Final. An iffy team. They've really been great this season, though, but they really could get upset early, or they could go all the way against a team that I think can rally, but also goaltending has been pretty darn good for them, and the offense does itself, and they've been on a hot streak here to end the season. The Minnesota Wild, Carolina Hurricanes versus Minnesota Wild in the Stanley Cup Final. I think it'll be a very good playoffs up to this point, but I feel like the Wild just don't have enough to keep up with the Carolina Hurricanes, so I feel like that the Hurricanes can pull that one out and win that one. Now back to the MLB. The season is starting to get into full swing, lots of action going on. So let's talk about some standings and my predictions from here and really who's been doing well up to this point in the season. To the standings, we start off first. In the NL Centrals, where we'll start, we have the St. Louis Cardinals in first place. They've been really a team that hasn't gotten a lot of attention. The offense hasn't been that great for the Cardinals. Pitching's been back and forth, but they found their place. They've found their way to a winning record and first place in the Central of the NL. In second place, the Brewers, who have been cold as of late. They won 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers, but then went on a cold streak from them. Pitching's been pretty good for the Brewers. Offense has been rocky. One day they score a lot, the other day not so much. And in third place, in the NL Central, we have the Cubs. Cubs, rocky team. Lost to the Pirates today. But overall, Chicago has so much potential with all their star players. The offense is really starting to come out. Ian Happ on the injured list, of course, after that collision in center field. So hopefully he is able to get back. But otherwise, offense really clicking here, I think. It's just a matter of the pitching at this point. Fourth place in the Central, we go to Cincinnati, where we meet the Reds for their fourth place spot. Reds off to a really hot start this year, in first place for a few days, and then they started running into some better teams where they did lose in those, and they have gotten bumped back to fourth in the Central. But otherwise, they average like the most runs in baseball, and their offense really clicks. It's also like the Cubs, really a matter of pitching for them. And then in fifth, not surprising, one of the worst teams in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates, of course. Cubs struggling against the Pirates. Few teams have had struggles with the Pirates, but otherwise, really they just don't have all the right weapons that they need. And so the Pirates find themselves fifth in the Central. On the NL East side of things, we have the Mets. We have the Mets in first place. Mets offense not really killing it this year, but pitching has been dominant with the help of Jacob deGrom, of course, and so they fall in the first place spot in the NL East. In second place, we have the Phillies, who have been really competitive through this start of the year. They've been playing some good games. Pitching's been back and forth. Offense been back and forth. Otherwise, they're a team that could end up in that first place spot in the end of the year, in my opinion. So they're off to a pretty darn good start here in 2021. In third place, we have the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are my second favorite team. I think they have so much potential. Their offense is dynamic. Everybody on that team has the ability to hit a baseball, and it's fun to watch one of their games. You need to go do it if you have not already. But they find their self in third place, and if I'm a Braves fan, I would not be worrying at all right now, because I feel like that they're getting into a rhythm after a walk-off win last night and can really go far this year. In fourth place, not surprisingly, the Marlins, who really just not off to the start that they were hoping for. Their offense just not there at all. I don't really know a lot about their pitching. I don't know anything about their pitching. Haven't heard a whole lot about them. I just know their offense has been sluggish, and they have not won a ton of games. In fifth place, I predicted this in my early predictions video. The Nationals in fifth place currently. In the East, really nothing special about them. They just can't really get in a rhythm, but they just need to get some more wins underneath their belt, hopefully get some momentum, and maybe they can find their way in the top two of the division. On the NL West side of things, the Giants are in first place. Giants really, their offense is really day-to-day, but pitching seems like it's really been good for San Francisco, and they have been pulling out close games and winning those. And the record shows it as they're first in the West. Second spot, the Padres, their bats, sluggish to start, picked it up as of late. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been hitting balls out of the ballpark. He had a 455-foot shot today, and their offense starting to get it together. Their pitching's been pretty good as of also, so I think they can really go far this year. Number third, a surprising third team, the Dodgers, who got swept by the Cubs and have had an iffy little go here for the last few weeks, as they find themselves third in the West. Fourth in the West, Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks seem like they've been winning a lot of games, but it just has not been enough to get into those top three spots so far. So there they sit in the fourth spot. And then the Colorado Rockies, of course, in fourth, 12-22. Not a good start for Colorado, and that's really all there is to say. In the AL Central, as we head into the American League, the White Sox in first place. Their offense has been good, but their pitching has been amazing. I saw this stat yesterday. It was like 7 or 9 runs given up in 4 different starts, and each of those starts have gone over 6 innings. It's really been amazing, and they are a great team pitching-wise and batting-wise. Second in the NL Central, the Cleveland Indians come into play here. I haven't really seen a lot of them so far. Anyway, they must have a pretty darn good record to be second in that AL Central spot. In third, the Royals of Kansas City. Great start to this year. Have fallen back to about average since then. But otherwise, Royals, I think if they can win a few games, maybe get some momentum and be a surprise team this season. In fourth spot, we have the Twins from Minnesota, who just doesn't seem like they've quite clicked yet, but I expect them to get it together. And then, lastly, in the AL Central, the worst team in the MLB so far, the Detroit Tigers, not surprisingly. Going to the East in the American League, Red Sox in first. Really great start to the year for them. Hopefully they can keep it up to be somewhat of a surprising team this year. In second, the New York Yankees. Really slow start for them. Picked it up as of late. Stanton has been killing it at the plate. And we'll see what the Yankees can do for the rest of the year. In third place in the AL East right now, the Tampa Bay is where the Tampa Bay Rays come into play. In the fourth spot, the Blue Jays from Toronto, playing at an alternate stadium this year. Some good off-season acquisitions. They've helped them only get to the fourth spot in the East, though. And then the Birds from Baltimore, the Orioles, not a really special, gifted team there in Baltimore. They are last in the East. AL West, I'm going to go through this quick here. We have the A's, followed by the Astros, then the Mariners, then the Rangers, then the Angels. Angels, to me, seem like they've been winning games, but just has not been enough to get above that fifth spot in the West. Anyways, that wraps it up for the first episode of Talking Sports with me, Grant the Umpire. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more podcast episodes like this. And we will see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.